Our guys were fighting in the first half, and I wanted to be in the mix with them. Like, I was super proud of how they came out and competed. Like, we got down. I think there was a little bit, I don't know the exact score, but I think we were down 12 or 13 in the second quarter, and we closed the quarter really well. So the guys demanded I fight with them, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this together.
All career high, 23 points. What did you like about his performance?
He took the shots when it was open, just like we talked about. Like, we want him to be aggressive. But great lessons for Bilal tonight. He's going against a top flight guy. Made some mistakes that he's going to grow from and learn. But we liked his offensive effort, so he's growing. And these are great experiences for all our guys. So really good stuff for him.
Why did the Cavs pull away and do so as decisively as they did?
We missed some shots early in that third quarter that were decent shots, and then they made theirs. And our defense kind of dropped a little bit. I thought defensively we were pretty good at the half. We closed the quarter pretty well, and then they go 38 and 38 the last two quarters. So we've shown that we can be consistent against pretty high-level teams. I mean, the last two first games, two high-level playoff-ready teams. But we need to do it for longer, and that's what we're here to work on. We're going to get better at that. And we're not happy with that, so we got to get better at the start of the third and play longer, more consistent minutes. But the guys were pretty resilient. And then even in the fourth, we went on, I think, a 13-4 run in the fourth. So that number might be a little bit off, but we still kept fighting. So stuff to grow from.
Is Kuz pressing?
No, I loved his aggressiveness tonight. I think his free throws were great. He got 10, so he was attacking. This guy's a scorer. This guy's going to make shots. He was playing the right way. Sometimes they just don't go in. But his aggressiveness, his intent, and how he played, that's how I want him playing.
What did you think about the way Alex fared against obviously a pretty tough front line?
I thought he was pretty good. Had some moments that he going to learn. But then he had some moments you're like, this is why we have him here. Protecting the rim, guarding guys on the perimeter, his activity level. I think you saw some good moments from him, but definitely things we got to improve on.
What have you thought about Bub's adjustment to going up against NBA defenses?
I mean, this is great. Like, Bub, the one thing that Bub does well for us is he organizes us. He understands our system. He understands us to get us in good stuff. That's why he's out there starting, because he really helps our team get organized. That's pretty impressive for a guy his age. But, again, this is a learning process. He's seeing all these different things, coverages, teammates, new guys he's playing with, opponents. But I love his spirit. Like, you can feel his spirit, his competitiveness, and that's what we want from Bub.
You talked about Bilal taking the open shots. Is that something that you feel like he improved on from game 1 to game 2?
I just think he read what the game gave him. I think the first game he got into the paint and was able to attack and play for his teammates. Today, shots were open, he took them. We just want our guys to read the game and make the right, proper play. And the game's going to tell you what that is. And that was a great thing from Bilal tonight. He read the game well.
You talked about the lessons he learned. What were they?
How hard it is to do it on both ends. Like, this is something he's going to grow into, a ball handler, decision maker, plus guard the best player. So these are great things. Like, you have to go through that. That's not something you just flip the switch on. You have to go through that and learn what that feels like. And he's learning every day, so he'll grow and be better the next time from this. So these are good things to learn from and grow, but we got to keep challenging ourselves.
9 threes for Bilal. What can that do? Just the fact that he's willing to take that many shots. What can that do and open up for him inside?
They're gonna have to close to him. You just, like I said, take the shots that are there. Play the game the right way. And Bilal's always done that. The game told him to shoot those threes because he was open. He let it fly. And that's what we want from him, to be aggressive. We give all of our guys that license. When you're open, let it rip.
What have been your impressions of Jordan's play at the point guard position coming into this year, and his commitment to be a willing passer and get his teammates involved?
I think he's been great with that. He's helped organize us. He gets us into our sets really fast. He plays with pace. I often say this about Jordan. Him and Kyle are probably number 1 on the scouting report. So, there's a game plan versus him, and he understands that to get us into our stuff, he needs to play fast and then get downhill against the teams that are preparing to stop that from him. And he's able to execute and get us into good shots. He's been great. His defense has gotten better, so I've been really pleased with Jordan.
Are there any conversations that you have with him where you try to tell him to keep that balance of make sure that he's attacking on the scoring end? Because on a night like tonight where he kind of started out hot and then, it just seems like the ball never really came back to him in the second half.
Just be aggressive. The game is going to come in ebbs and flows. And that's one thing that everybody learns. It's not going to be your fastball the whole game. And I think that's one thing that's good about him is that he's generating offense for us, and that's what we want him to do.
For the first 2 games, how would you evaluate you guys coming out of the locker room at halftime? It feels like the first 2 nights, that's when the pull away has kind of happened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a thing that's happened. So we got to address that, and we did. We're going to address that as a group but we got to start better. Those third quarters have hurt us a little bit. Something to grow on.
If I'm wrong, you guys went with Sarr and Jonas at the start the second half. What was the reasoning for that? Why wasn't that the case from the get-go?
Because that's what we finished the second with.
Okay, that's
and we went on we went on a run to finish the quarter. They were going to start big. We're going to play some different lineups. These are things that we're going to do. We're not going to always just go with traditional start one half. Maybe we're going to read what the game tells us. So we wanted to go that way because we finished really well. Second quarter with that unit, good defensively. So.
You got Jared in there earlier tonight than we saw him against Boston. What has he continued to bring, and how big was it to get him locked up?
Great to have him here. Thrilled about that. He's one of the high character guys here. Gerald settles us down. Pure point guard, gets us in our stuff, calms us down. That's why I wanted him on the court tonight.
You guys shot 44% in the paint. Was that just a matter of their rim protection, having great shot blockers, or was there something you guys could have done better?
I'm sure that there's something. You always got to give the opponent credit. This is an elite defensive team. I'm sure that their bigs and their size affected some of that stuff, but I thought we actually got some decent looks. Some didn't go in.
You talked a lot about the defensive intensity that you wanted to see from your team. Through 2 games, have you seen it as much as you'd like?
We've seen it for about half the game, to be honest. We just need to see it for longer. We show that we have the capabilities to do that, but we need to be more consistent, play for longer stretches. And that's, I think, what's happened a little bit in the second half. So 2 games as our defense has dropped. Sometimes when we have missed shots we can't always control. Process I thought was pretty good, but we got to keep defending, and that's something we're going to keep working on.
How do you get there to move from defending well for half the game to the full game?
You got to keep focusing on it, keep working on it, be intentional about it. And I promise you that's what we've been doing. We're going to continue to do.
I mean, knocking down my shots, open shots, being able to go to the basket, dish when I needed to, but finish too. And, it helped me to get a lot of points today.
How would you just describe your start to the season offensively and, how the work that you put in the offseason is paying off?
Yeah, I mean, I know Coach, has trust in me. So, he's just, letting me handle the ball a lot more. Setting the plays and everything. So it just makes me feel confident on the court. And I'm able to find my teammates, get some open looks for myself too. So, I feel good about my start.
You were really aggressive today shooting the ball. What led to the confidence that you have to take, as many 16 shots, 9 threes?
I mean, I was about to curse. They've been on me about last game because I didn't shot a lot. So they were like, you got to shoot. We need you to shoot. And, this morning at shoot-around, Coach was like, we need you with the ball yesterday too. So that's what I did.
So they is the coaching staff?
Yeah, coaching staff, teammates, everybody guys believes in me, so it makes it easier for me.
When you look back at the film from the Boston game, did you feel like there were some shots that you were like, probably should have pulled the trigger there?
For sure, yeah, a couple of them. A couple threes I should have pulled up, so yeah.
How has your role changed this season? How's it different?
I mean, just coming to training camp confident, playing with the ball, not being afraid to go to the rim and everything. Coach saw it and he was like, he can play, so give me a lot more the ball and everything. So just the coach trusts me, teammates trust me, so that's how I get the ball a lot more. And last year was not like that.
Defensively, I know you're trying to improve in every aspect. What areas are you trying to improve on defensively?
I'll say probably talking more with my teammates, on the switches and everything. Just being more on the body off the ball. So yeah, on ball I'm pretty good, but off the ball I got to be more locked in.
Did you say that like you were standing out in training camp and Keith noticed it and said he kind of changed the game plan based off that?
Yeah, first practices I was like really trying to show that I'll work this summer, show them that I can go to the rim, pull up and everything. So yeah, they saw it, I guess, and yeah, now they believe in me.
How satisfying was that to sort of earn a larger offensive role by proving yourself like that?
Felt really good, you know. I learned it also during a French national team, not being really aggressive first practices. And that's how I end up, like, probably not playing sometimes. So I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to, live that thing again. So whenever I got here, I was like, I got to prove them.
Paul, you talked about how your role has changed this year, and you're definitely handling the ball a lot more, and you've gotten better at it. But what has been, if anything, the hardest part of that transition for you to be more on ball and more of a facilitator?
I mean, got to play both sides now. So it's really tough. Like, you got to stop the best player, and after that, you got to get some buckets. So, yeah, it's really tough. I say that's the toughest part because you got to be in great condition to do that.
You set career highs in points and assists through the first 2 games of the season. How does it feel not only to have those strong performances in the preseason or in training camp and know that you could do this, but also show it immediately?
I mean, it feels really good. I kind of knew it was coming because I've really been working this summer and even like preseason and everything. So yeah, I believed in myself. I knew it was coming. Now I'm just trying to get some dubs. That's all we need right now.
What does a night like tonight and a night like the first game against Boston do for your confidence? Make sure that you're able to pull the trigger whenever you need.
Give me a boost. I know that I'm able to go to the rim, facilitate too. So it just gave me a lot of confidence. Now I'm just trying to do my best to win the games.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool playing against him. He's a great big, so it's always fun going up against like players like that. Yeah.
Get those 2 blocks both on. I think they were both on him. I know the first one was. I think the second one was as well.
I don't know about the second one, but I mean, the first block felt pretty good. I felt like I made a good defensive play, and I was pretty happy about it.
We saw you show some emotion after that, get pretty fired up. We're just obviously getting to learn you and your game. Is that something that's pretty rare for you or common?
No, I feel like, whenever I can get the momentum going, after a play, whether it's defensive or offensive play, I just let whatever I'm feeling out,
And it was a career night for Bilal. What did you think about the way he played offensively?
Yeah, I think he played great. You can see him like game by game, just getting more comfortable, getting to his spots, and I feel like he's going to have a good season.
What do you think you can learn from playing against a team like Cleveland that has not one but 2 very, very long, defensive-minded bigs?
I feel like they do a great job protecting the paint. That's what we want to do too. I feel like we did a pretty good job this game, but we're still growing in that era. So we can definitely take some of that.
BK talked about how you guys had, again, for the second game in a row, good defensive effort for about half the game. What's the process, do you think, of getting that to go for the whole game?
I think we just gotta, get more reps. Those 2 games, I feel like we all learned a lot from it, and the third game really be locked in on attacking the third quarter, so we don't dip our energy level or anything.
You've already, between the regular season and seeing the Knicks in the preseason, you've gone up against some of the better defenses in the NBA. What have you noticed about what makes those defenses good as you learn how to defend at the NBA level?
I feel like at any level, what makes a defensive team good is communication and how physical they are, and I feel like that's what we got to do. Really, hit people first, and make people really feel us.
2 games in, what's the biggest thing you feel like you've learned about the league already?
Just how important it is to take care of your body, honestly. Like, every moment matters from one game to another. Like, they're really close to each other. Like you said, it's only 2 games, but I definitely know that's important.
On court, what feels different from experience in the NBL and in preseason?
I would say it's way more spaced. Like, the spacing is different. You can't stay like 3 seconds in the key, so that's like a huge difference. So that's the biggest difference. Yeah.